Portraits and Shadows, Daylight Edition. And why not? The light today was gorgeous, so wandered past the area and figured I'd shoot this one. We have a pair of interesting watches today, and this should give it away, the Spork. Although this is more of a combination spoon, fork, and a little bit of a cutting edge knife there. Can't imagine you'd be cutting very much of that at all. But we have the Seiko Spork, the SRP043, and the Christopher Ward Makaira. Both of these are indeed dive watches, but because of the legibility, readability of the dial and bezel, you could also use them for an aviation themed watch. This Seiko one has the Seiko shake movement, which I absolutely can't stand. You have to shake it in order for the rotor to go round and round and wind the watch, but it's an otherwise beautiful watch. Just adore it. It is my Seiko diver. I miss the SKX. I never owned one. I admired them. Helped G-Money get one. I think it's a fabulous piece. It just wasn't the Seiko diver for me. This one was. And I got this on an isoframe silicon strap. Absolutely one of my most favorite and best straps. Wears kind of big, but with that loom, this would be a wonderful watch if I was actually going diving somewhere. No slight to the Doxa GMT. A beautiful watch. And this C11 Makaira, another gorgeous spork of a watch. And the bezel is internal and is actuated by this right here. Clever. This watch is heavy though. Very, very heavy. I owned the titanium version very briefly. I bought it to flip it when I was a little more into buying to sell and so forth. And this watch is beautiful. And, you know, squarish block of metal. This isn't an isoframe. This is a strap by Borealis. Effectively, it is a knockoff of the isoframe. The isoframes are around 100, 120, well worth it. This actually came with a different watch and it got put on here because of the orange aesthetic. This on bracelet, even heavier. I'm probably gonna move this watch on. It's so big and heavy for me. I just don't wear it. And if you're not gonna wear your watches, move it on. Get that money freed up. Although if it was titanium and if I could find the titanium, I might backfill it. I love the layout. I love this internal thing. And I love the fact that it is a true spork. An aviator or a diver could make use of it. You know, 500 millimeters? 500 millimeters of depth rating. Wow, you can go in an inch and a half. Gorgeous watch. And I think that there's a spot in anyone's collection for a Seiko diver. You just have to find the one that is right for you. And one way of doing that is, of course, right here, finding yourself a good Seiko watch book. Let's have us a look at this one. The one downside about not being able to read Japanese kanji is not only you don't have any idea what's being written inside, I can't even tell the name of this book. I can tell that this is the fellow who wrote it, Ikuo Tokunaga. It is a MOOK, which is M-O-O-K, which is basically a combination of magazine and book. And this is a format that is very popular in Japan to this day. And it's meant to be a periodical that spends more time on the shelf than a standard magazine. And it's a little more substantive. Oh, who needs to read kanji when you've got the is-bin right there? Ba-bam. And I gathered that this is about Seiko dive watches. You see, numbers and photos are universal. Got this off of eBay, obviously. And the nice thing about these books is you can discover a reference you had no idea was out there. And I love watch books. First of all, because they're cheaper than watches. Oh, I believe that's the very first Flightmaster, unless I'm mistaken. Gorgeous. And I'm sure it writes a lot of interesting stuff as well. Maybe I need a Japanese-speaking girlfriend who could read to me about watches. That would be awesome. Oh, Landmaster. This is a model I want to get into in the upcoming year. These watches are gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. Taking the Alpinist basically one level higher. Landmasters, that's what's up. Another cool watch book for your library. Seiko Spork, Christopher Ward C11 Makaira, Spork, and a watch book. It's what we call a triple threat. Get out there, hunt one for yourself.